Everyone, remain calm.
Yeah, that's how it always starts. And later there's running and screaming.
Somebody talk to me! What is happening?
Welcome to Jurassic World.
You're listening to the Jurassic Park Podcast.
You want to consult here or in my bungalow? Hold on to your butts.
Well, we're back.
Hello and welcome to the 53rd episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost, and we're here to discuss all things Jurassic Park. In this episode, we have a ton of news, a great first birthday chat with Jennifer Terek, Matt Parody, Stephen Hurrell, James Hawkins, and Dan Caron, all in one place to discuss the fun we've had this past year, as well as a ton of other topics. During that segment, I have an announcement that I am really excited for you to hear, but also maybe by the time you got around to listening to this, you may already know. I also have a segment to discuss that announcement, a fun audio clip featuring Ariana Richards and Joe Mazzello from 1993, and we'll wrap it up with a giveaway segment. It's our big first birthday episode, and it's really been a great year of podcasting. Now, we've released one episode every week for the past year, and now it's time to celebrate. Hopefully you've enjoyed the content and consider it quality programming for all things Jurassic Park. I'm really happy to have brought you this podcast each week for the past year. So, like I said, we have a big episode ahead of us, so why don't we get things started off with a bit of Jurassic news from around the world.
18 minutes and your company catches up on 10 years of research.
Access rate program. Access review security.
These pictures were taken in hospital in Costa Rica 48 hours ago.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but look.
Boy, my head being right all the time.
Today, I guarantee it.
Starting June 1st, Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3 will be available on Netflix. This Wednesday, you'll be able to stream the first 3 films in the series whenever you want. So that's great news. The bad news, however, is that our spouses, friends, and family will have to endure us watching them constantly. Head over to our show notes to find a link containing those 3 films, as well as many others coming this June. Recently, Comcast CFO Michael Cavanaugh was speaking about NBC Universal's animation deal expiring with Fox and the possibility of distributing in the future with DreamWorks Animation. And he made a pretty interesting statement. After 2017, the studio will be able to focus animation in-house, and said this about their possibilities. So we will be able to take, subject to it making sense, our intellectual property like Jurassic World or other properties, and as DreamWorks has done, create kids animation for TV. So while it isn't a confirmation, it is telling us that the idea of an animated Jurassic World show is on their minds. We'll have to wait until after 2017 to see what is on their minds, but I do think they will try to expand the series around the release of the 5th film. Will this TV series tie into the ongoing story? Probably not. But it would still be great to have another outlet for us fans. Thanks to Josh at Nublar7 and JP Legacy for the find. You can find a link to the full article in the show notes. LiveScience.com recently had the chance to sit down with Jack Horner at the Liberty Science Center in New Jersey. How did I miss this, by the way? I would have went. Anyway, he sat down with LiveScience.com for a Q&A focusing on his first fossil finds, his struggles with dyslexia and college, and his work in the Jurassic series. It's a really great piece, and come to think of it, I don't know if the website is Live Science or Live Science. Either way, head to our show notes to find a link to the article. Have you ever wanted to traverse the Jurassic Seas to track ancient creatures such as the Mosasaurus and the Megalodon, all to help save the future? Well, now's your chance. Time Machine is a newly released VR game that simulates the Jurassic era in hopes to save humanity from extinction. The secret to save humankind lies in the past, all while you are immersed in VR. It looks like a really cool game, and I've been hearing some really good things. I've included a link in the show notes to check out their website, weareminority.com, where you can find more info, a launch trailer, and all the different ways to play. As of this recording, I don't have any further info, but it looks like Chronicle Collectibles will be releasing pre-order info today, Monday, May 30th, for their T-Rex Breakout maquette. The previews they've shown so far make this thing look incredible. The accuracy and the detail is insane. Head over to chroniclecollectibles.com to find out more information and make the pre-order. It may be a bit pricey, but you won't want to miss it.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
DinosaurStop.com has a great giveaway going on right now, where you could win a hybrid FX Tyrannosaurus Rex, Owen Alpha with Velociraptor Blue Set, a Jurassic World Slap Band, and a replica park map. Now that's an absurd amount of stuff for having to do so little. So all you have to do is either subscribe to their YouTube channel and comment on the giveaway video, or you can go to their Facebook, like their page, and comment on the giveaway post. That's 2 ridiculously simple ways to enter. So make sure to head over to DinosaurStop.com to find out more information on the contest and the prizes. Let's open up the doors to the Visitor Center, where Jennifer Terek, Matt Parody, Steve Hurrell, James Hawkins, and Dan Caron join me to celebrate the podcast's first birthday. Well, this week is the 1-year anniversary that we've been putting together this podcast, so I figured we'd assemble some of the regulars here for a bit of a birthday celebration. So I have here for you today Matt Parody, Stephen Hurrell, James Hawkins, and Jennifer Terek, and hopefully somebody else coming in a few minutes. We'll see. But I want to start off by thanking you all for being a major part of this podcast. And, I'd have to say it'd be pretty boring if you just heard me talking every week, for about an hour. But, each one of you has been there to record at a moment's notice on any random topic. So thank you guys. And guess what? You guys have been listened to in over 75 countries. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Nice.
No.
That's pretty
Happy
impressive.
Anniversary.
Thanks.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Confetti.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
It's mad that it's been a year already.
Yeah, it's crazy how long it's been, and just to do this every week, and then if I ever need somebody on, you guys are always there, and the fact that we've been listened to so widely, I never could have expected that, to have so much input from people like you and people from all around the country. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I think it's more amazing now. We still have stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Once a week, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
I think that's
it's a deep mind. This show.
I think that's the funny part, because people, once they find out about the podcast, they're like, "How is there a Jurassic Park podcast that you could talk about that stuff every week or however often?" They always find it pretty crazy that it's actually a thing.
You know what it is, though? It's the different perspectives from the different people in the community. Everyone has a different angle, and they all could provide different things and topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all, obviously, like, everyone does something different, don't they? Like, look at me and Steve. We don't just we focus more on the Minecraft side of it than we do the talking side. So everything's different. I guess everyone offers something different, don't they? And then gives you something to talk about.
Yeah. So let me start off by asking this question here. It's kind of like overall, but like, what draws you guys into podcasting? Like, what made you guys kind of step up and say you want to be part of this? Let's see. I gotta ask. I gotta remember who to direct questions to, because there is so many people here. I'm used to just having one person on at a time.
At once. No, I'm first.
I know, we just talk at once and over each other.
All right, Matt. Let's ask you that question. What draws you into podcasting?
What draws me into podcasting is the fact that I've been podcasting before.
Yeah.
So I already had the setup. So when the idea came across, I said, well, yeah, I just have to turn it on and answer someone else's phone call and have them record it. So I'm down with it.
Yeah. And I remember like when we first Skyped, like one of the first times, we were talking about equipment and just how tough equipment is in podcasting.
Yeah, or how expensive it can be if you want it to sound good, and you want it to sound good, but you don't want to spend that money. So, especially since this is mostly done for retweets and smiles, not any sort of real not any sort of real money.
Wait, I didn't cut you guys your checks yet? I'm sorry. I'll have to get them out. I gotta get them out. I'm sorry.
It's in the post.
I'm sorry.
And the Royal Post is really expensive, so you better be ready to pay that for those guys.
And it takes forever to get from New Jersey to Pennsylvania, so yeah. I understand.
Yeah, sorry. I sent them out like back last June, so I don't know what's going on.
I think it's more of the fact that I like listening to other people's opinions and info and stuff that they know that they can share that not everyone knows about really. And like all the latest news, like Brad, you find out lots of latest news, anything to do with Jurassic, don't you?
Yeah.
So when your episodes, you've got your little news bit at the beginning. Like it's cool because not everyone's aware of that around the world, that all this sort of stuff's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think it's just a good get together, a good laugh. Gets you to meet other people as well. Like, look what we're doing now, for example, like 3 Americans and us Brits. So I mean, it gives you make friends and that, and that's cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, and that point you bring up about the news, like I always take for granted that we know this stuff, like as soon as it happens, and people are tweeting about it and reporting it on their own websites, and we always take it for granted that we know this stuff. But there are people out there that aren't on Twitter constantly or are not on any social media that are finding this news. So I think it's good to remember that when I'm doing the news, and I always forget that when I'm putting it together. But I'll try to remember it from now on. Yeah,
I think it's important to keep the you're almost like marketing Jurassic Park and Jurassic World without meaning to, really, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess you can put it that way.
Because we're spreading word of mouth, aren't we? We're spreading word of mouth and letting people know there is, like, it's not just a film, like there is more to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're keeping it alive too.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, that's what draws me in anyway.
Yeah, well, Steve, what about you? I know you guys work together on your podcast and your Minecraft stuff. So what draws you in to doing your own podcast?
Yeah, pretty much the views and opinions of everyone else. A lot of people have different views of how they see Jurassic Park, Jurassic World and stuff. So it's interesting to see what they got out of the movies and stuff. And also we all have different hobbies on the side of this. So it's always nice to see people, expressing their views either through music or creating stuff, drawings, pictures and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's part of the fun part, is assembling all these creative talents of everybody. And I always like to put on people who do music or stuff like that and kind of spotlight on them.
Yeah.
And I mean, each one of you guys do something, so it's always fun to spotlight on that as well. So it's cool to bring everybody together in one spot, so you can share this with the world.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Jen, you're up.
Jen?
All right, you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. I had no idea what a podcast was until I got into Smallville fandom, which I was so into, and that was 2004, 2003, and that's how my first experience with podcasts. So I listened to their podcasts from Smallville, 2 different ones, and then the Jurassic cast. I started listening to them way when they first started, and then I started my own for Enlightened, which was a Laura Dern TV show that I loved so much that I had to do a podcast on it because I loved it so much. So I started my own, and then I joined one with my friend for Disney. She did one on Disney movies. So this is my 3rd podcast that I've been a part of. But it's been amazing. I love them. I didn't know what they were at first, and now, just as everyone said, it's amazing to hear different points. And if you love something so much, you want to hear people talk about it, every possible aspect of it, and their opinions. So that's why I love it, and I'm so glad to be a part of this. And I'm honored to be on your anniversary special. This is amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just wanted to kind of get everybody together to just talk about our own experience with the past year and everything, and not just the podcasting aspect. But so, I thought it was really cool to kind of get everybody together. But yeah, you're right. Podcasting is so widespread, and there's so many different topics and genres and styles of podcasting. And even in our own community here, we have like 4 different kinds, or maybe even more at this point. So it's really cool to hear that and to be able to listen to each one of them as a very different experience.
Yeah. Hey, Jen, you had a good experience with the Bryce thing, didn't you?
Oh my gosh. I'm in dreamland. I don't know. I don't even know what's happening every day. Something isn't. I go to my email and I'm like, what is this? What is my life? I don't know. I've been so blessed. I can't even explain. Every day I'm like this. I'm just waiting to wake up. It's been amazing. Still amazing. The future is amazing. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Could not have predicted this.
That is amazing. And in the past year, you can't just, like you said, predict anything like that. So is there anything in the rest of your guys' like life in the past year that kind of like surprised you or anything like that? You know, it could be anything pertaining to the films or your personal life.
Basically all of it. So let them go. Basically everything. Everything. My goodness.
Oh, put me on the spot now. I can't think right off the top of me. Steve, you went back to Disney, didn't you?
Yeah, went to Universal Studios and saw the Jurassic Park land again. And just seeing all that sort of bring back the feeling of like, yes, I love these films. So I was really happy with that.
I agree, yeah. I went there as well, and it's just so cool to get immersed in it and to be a part of that land. And, you know, while it's vastly different than what we know from the films and everything, it's still really cool to kind of immerse yourself in that land.
As soon as you walk through the gates, you hear the music. Exactly.
Exactly.
Weren't they,
that's the only place you need to be.
Weren't they still playing the Jurassic theme when you was like outside King Kong?
Yeah, because they're building King Kong right next to the Jurassic Park bit. And so it's sort of a mix of I can see King Kong, but I can hear Jurassic Park music. I'm thinking, this is actually
And then on the other end, you could see the Harry Potter castle through the gates, which totally ruins it.
Yeah.
I hate that the castle was inside Jurassic.
Yeah, they need to grow their trees a bit more.
Yeah. I think they need an Indominus Rex sculpt thing. Like they have the Spino and T-Rex, don't they? They definitely need one of them.
Yeah, just like they have the
them.
Spinos and T-Rex and the different vehicles, they need that Indominus with the gyrosphere out front. That would be so awesome. How have they not done that already? They should have had that ready, you know, when the film debuted back, you know, last June.
Having the opportunity to sit in the gyrosphere for a photo op.
Wow.
Perfect.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know, they don't let you get close to these vehicles usually. There's like a little rope or something around them, but that would be an awesome one to kind of get in and sit. And maybe there's like a little video of Jimmy Fallon playing on the dash.
See, maybe they have the same problem we do with news because we're so used to the news and we don't know what's new to people. Mm-hmm. And so for them, they're like, oh, we've seen this thing a million times. No one cares about this vehicle, but they don't probably realize from our perspective it's the greatest thing in the world. But to them, it's just another prop. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same with the Harry Potter stuff, really, though, isn't it? Like, it's not everyone's cup of tea. So going to the whole kingdom of Harry Potter, they just walk through it thinking, my God, this is so busy. What is the big deal about? But to us, well, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so to me, it'd be like, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Especially where we don't really get stuff like that over here in the UK.
Yeah, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, like you said, but Jurassic is so widespread, so you'd think they'd have some sort of update in there since the movie came out, but we got nothing, and it was kind of disappointing. I mean, the park itself is great. I love it, but aside from, you know, Steve, you probably just saw it. There's just a bunch of banners and stuff hung up pertaining to Jurassic World with that kind of theme, but there's nothing in particular, you know, Jurassic World.
No, it's hardly changed since the last time I went about 8 years ago.
That's kind of sad.
Especially it's frustrating when you see what like the Singapore one and is it Singapore?
Yeah.
They've got like that new Pteranodon ride and
I
big
think
fountains
Singapore
and stuff.
Singapore's they have some stuff there, but that one is just Japan. I think they have the Universal Studios.
Oh, Japan is it? That's what I mean. Yeah, well, somewhere in that side of the world, I think there's got some good. Yeah, they've got some good stuff that they could have in the US. I think would be quite cool.
Yeah, Matt, have you been to any of these parks?
I have. I've been to both, the one in Florida and the one in California. The one in California much longer ago, but the one in Florida was awesome to go to because I went like when Harry Potter was still on fire. So Harry Potter, we got there as the park opened. We ran there, did everything in Harry Potter World as quickly as we could, and then we were totally by ourselves through the rest of Islands of Adventure. So we
Yeah,
just
that's cool.
meandered through Jurassic Park. You know, we walked. Like, the longest part of getting onto the ride was the fact that we had to walk to the front of the line. Like, we had to walk through the
Oh,
whole
really?
thing, but no one was there.
Yeah.
What time of the year did you go?
We were there in January.
Yeah, that's a good time.
I've been in September before, and I've only been once, but that was the time I went. And it seemed that was 2009, and Harry Potter was still being built when I went, which was really frustrating actually.
Oh, man.
And that, and I got straight onto the rides as well. Maybe it is just certain time of the year that you go.
We go every year in December, and since we go every year in December, I went the year Harry Potter opened, and I guess it opened in like June, and we were there 6 months later.
Yeah.
You had to get a fast pass to enter the land because it was so
That's
full.
mad.
Yeah, they
I think it
are
was
actually
like that-
closing off that part.
Yeah, you had to get a fast pass. I think it was like that for
Crazy.
2 years, maybe.
Wow.
Does that ruin the experience though, where there's so many people?
Yes, it was. You couldn't move. It was to capacity. You were shoulder to shoulder. You couldn't do anything. Couldn't see anything.
It's a little bit taxing on your on your emotions. You just like, it's like walking through a really crowded bar the entire time, but instead of drunk people, they're children for the most part.
That's
or
annoying.
really enthusiastic adults pushing the
or
little
it's
children out of the
worse,
way.
actually.
Yeah, you know, there's
Kids
some
getting in the
good
way.
and bad aspects of Harry Potter being right there. Like you guys said, at one point it disperses everybody. So when you go to Jurassic Park, there's not many people. But at the same time, it kind of it takes away the people from Jurassic Park, so it makes it seem not as popular of an area. So I hope they don't forget that aspect, that Harry Potter's drawing right next to Jurassic Park, and they don't just like remove things from there. I hope they continue to kind of build it out and make it better, even though they just added contours.
Yeah.
So
That was Jurassic's expansion pad, though.
yeah,
And so was Kong. That was their 2 expansion pads.
I know.
So that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard rumors and stuff, but who knows how likely they are of them like demolishing certain aspects of that area and kind of just restarting. But who knows what's going to happen there.
I mean, I'm hoping they're going to lose the Marvel Park, and then they'll have a whole nother island to deal with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they might do that, eventually. Who knows? I mean, they just rebranded the Hulk coaster to Hulk
Which
again,
looks
but
brilliant.
it looks great again. But, who knows how much money they're going to invest in, demolishing everything soon. But I don't know. They can at least retheme it. It is green. You can take that into Jurassic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that. Brad, did I tell you about my idea of what I would do with the Islands of Avenger?
It's possible.
Did I tell you about?
Go ahead.
Did I tell you? I don't know what you guys think of this. I think obviously Steve knows. Has spoke to him about it before. If they was to build out onto the lagoon and make like a main street, I thought that would be pretty cool. And where the innovation centre would be where the visitor centre would be at the moment. They would basically close that section and just rebuild it and make it to more like Jurassic World. So these then, like all the guys, like I think it's just a perfect opportunity to just sell.
Mm-hmm.
And you think they could open loads of shops, loads of bars, restaurants, like, and make it actually how it is in the film. Because we didn't get to see much of it in the film, did we? And everyone's like, I really wish that we could go inside the restaurants and see a bit more. That could be the perfect opportunity for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's a good idea, and I don't understand why they don't jump at the opportunity, really.
They have that bridge that bypasses Harry Potter that they could totally use as well. So I don't know why they don't build off of that even.
And I know they've got the license for Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, haven't they? So they could move that into the park.
Oh yeah, there's one on City Walk.
If they're allowed to sell alcohol in the parks, I'm not sure.
Exactly.
What the rules are.
Yeah, I think they are.
Well, they don't even need to sell alcohol, though, do they? They could just sell like mocktails and things. Just like almost, well, not alcoholic stuff, but it's just,
if they made an experience,
no-brainer for me.
If they made a ride experience for you to run across Main Street with 2 margaritas in your hand, I think people would wait in line to do that.
Yeah, 2-hour queue for that one.
Get a photo op and everything.
Yeah, no, I think people would kill for that. That would be so fun.
And you get
Yeah, and James, like you said, like they need to reinvigorate that area with shops and different things because when you get in there, it is kind of, I hate to say it, but it's kind of boring. Like there's nothing going on. You kind of have to find experiences for yourself.
Yeah, just picture like you go inside and it's got the as Jurassic World turns playing as you're walking around it. It's just that I think will add to the experience so much more.
And I have feel. Yeah, I want it.
Yeah.
See, boom. I'm glad I've got you on board.
I'm on. I'm already building it. I'm already there building it.
Yeah, I've always had this this crazy dream idea that they knock down the Men in Black stuff over in the other park, the Universal Studios park.
No. I love Men in Black. Don't take it away.
It's
Back
so
to the
lame.
Future's already gone. Do not take my Men in Black.
Well, I gotta say, The Simpsons is pretty terrible as well. That I hated that
Jaws,
ride.
I mourn my Jaws. Okay, Simpsons you could take.
Yeah. All right. Well,
the ride's good though.
Whatever they take on somewhere on that side of the park, I thought it would be fun to add that like tram style experience like you have for Harry Potter, where you go between the parks. But do that obviously with the monorail for Jurassic World, and then you go from the Jurassic Park to the new Jurassic World. I thought that would be awesome.
Don't they have that whole plot where the old Hard Rock Cafe was, like way in the back? They still have that, I think.
I don't know. I know there's some expansion, but not a ton. But I don't know.
They used to have a tram back there.
So what's where where Jaws ride used to be? What's there now?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, yeah.
Yeah,
More
that's
Harry Potter.
London and Diagon Alley.
Oh, they've just built over where Jaws is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, right. I actually thought that was still in Islands of Adventure.
No, I think you can see like some remnants of the area and everything, but it's very different now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely gone.
The only problem
Even
I have
the
with that
cobblestone.
idea is the fact that you have to buy 2 tickets, like to go to both Harry Potter parks.
Yeah, see, that's where they get you. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. And we'll pay it because we're idiots.
I know, right? So control.
I'm not sure our UK ticket options are for just one park. So I think ours is just automatic includes the park.
Oh, really?
hoppers.
Huh. Okay. Oh, yeah. So it's just one cost.
Yeah, I did have that last time I went. I had a park hopper thing. You could just go in one and out the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're constantly restructuring all the pricing and everything, so who knows what it'll be next time we all go.
Yeah. The only thing that annoys me with Universal is you have to pay for fast passes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, unless you
and they're
stay...
like £90 each or something, Steve. Or something.
$99.
Unless you stay on property.
$99. What's that, about 60 quid or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Better off just staying
Still quite
in
dear,
their
isn't
hotel.
it? That's a joke.
Yeah. But when I go down there, I always tend to go to Disney, so I'm not staying in a Universal hotel. I feel like Universal is kind of like
really
a one-day event.
Yeah.
So let's move on here to Jurassic World. It's been just about a year since Jurassic World was released, and there are so many people hating on this film. It seems to be growing, in fact. But Steve, how does this film sit with you after nearly a full year?
I still watch it quite a lot, actually, and I really do love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a lot of things that I needed in a film, and probably one of my best scenes of Jurassic World is the Ankylosaurus battle with the I-Rex. That's probably I can still remember sitting in the cinema watching that and thinking, this is awesome.
It's such a brutal sequence. Oh, God.
Look, there's 4 dinosauruses. Brilliant. I love how he's... to be fair, I love how he just doesn't care, Zach. He just haven't got... He just...
Not at all.
At all, does he?
Nope.
It's funny.
And even a year on, I still watch this film and go, yeah, they've done it well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's different things that I think that you appreciate the more you watch it, really.
Yeah, it's one of those films that will age very well. Like, I could watch it in 20 years, the same I could watch Jurassic Park 20 years on and go, I love
Plus
this.
it has like 8 climaxes in it. Every time you think that's the climax, there's another one after it. And it just keeps building.
If you were to watch it for the first time, you're not sure, is this the penultimate climax? Is this the end of it? And then something else happens and you think, no way.
Yeah, do you know the only thing I wished the one thing I wish that they didn't do with the marketing side of it was when they played the trailers, they posted the trailers on. I wish they wouldn't have revealed the Mosasaurus, because I don't. Although there was talk of it being in the film because of obviously all the websites and pictures of it being, you know, online with that on the official Jurassic World website, where you can click on each dinosaur sort of thing. But seeing it coming out of the water, I think should have been held back, because I think in a cinema, especially in like an IMAX cinema, that would have been like a wow moment. But people had already completely like adjusted to the fact that there's a big Mosasaurus, and it was up and over within 30 seconds, and then it's forgotten about. I know they brought it back at the end, which I thought was a really good idea, but you forget about it instantly. And I think if that hadn't have been shown beforehand, by the time they showed it in the film, I think people would be like, "Did you see the size of that thing?" You wouldn't want to sit so close to the front, would you? So, anyway, that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, I think like with the sound design in that sequence, the roar that thing makes, and the splashing, and the sound of the wire coming unhinged, like that would have been awesome to experience, like completely blind, like going in there with no clue.
Yeah.
But I feel the promotional people, because I mean, you got to show something to get people into it.
Yeah. I think you've got to be clever with it, though, Jen. I think like the way they sort of in the film, I think they did the build up for the Indominus really, really well. Like you only saw bits of it, you didn't see it full. It took that's where I think it did well with mirroring Jurassic Park. It took about an hour before the first attack, really, roughly, maybe 40 minutes, and I think that helped with it to sort of, you know, the big reveal until we went into the enclosure and ran out.
I was watching. I think yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was just like looking at the pacing of that film. That film is like paced so well. I feel like just like from the start, it's just constantly moving. There's like no lulls. It just goes from one part to the next, and it really like, you know, pounds the pavement, and it's so thrilling.
Doesn't feel rushed.
It doesn't feel rushed. Yeah. I think what helps that is the fact that there's a lot going on in one place. Like you think you've got the ACU side of it, and while that's happening, they flick to the control room, but the general public doesn't have a clue about any of this stuff that's going on. So then they'd flick to Gray and Zach. Do you see what I mean? And all that pacing, you kind of, it helps you keep up with the film, but where they're going backwards and forwards, I think it helps sort of so it doesn't make it feel rushed. Anyway, that's
Matt, what do you think about it after all this time?
I still like the film, and I can't believe people are still ragging on it as much as they are. Like I recently was on Twitter, and this girl did like she was tweet. What's the thing when you tweet all the time when you're watching it? Live tweet. There you go. She live tweeted it, and apparently she's a paleontologist, and she was just ripping it apart. And I'm just like, I wanted to jump in there, but I don't all at the same time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna read this, and I'm just gonna keep it to myself, and we're gonna move on with my life, because I can't always wade in and and you know, just get into these fights on the internet makes me crazy.
Yeah, that's
been the hardest part. That's been the hardest part recently, because all this hate, you know, comes out. It's all these different videos are popping up, like talking badly about the film, and then I can't even watch them because it really hurts. Like I'm just like, why are you guys making fun of this? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like it's one of the biggest movies of all time. I guess maybe that's really why, like because it was so big. But it just really kind of hurts. It kind of feels personal in a way when you love the film so much.
I agree.
Yeah. And let's face it, it's something different from robots.
Yeah, I'm getting bored. Like, and superheroes, like as much as I do like the films when I watch them, I just think like
they're all the same. They're all the same idea, same basic concept. I mean, this wasn't just a dinosaur movie. This was the perfect movie for people who've seen the original and I guess the sequels, but seeing the original mainly, and then to have this, I mean, in time and everything, you could not have asked for a better put together film, and for Hollywood to support it and to put it out there and to care for it, and the people who were involved cared for it. You couldn't have asked for a better scenario. I mean, this was the best case for a fourth film. The money involved, the talent, everything. Couldn't have asked for a better circumstance, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't get the hate. I don't get it.
The one thing that bugs me quite a lot is when people moan about like the characters and not like, who is this guy? Well, it's quite clear that's Zach, and that's great. Like, do you not pay attention?
That bugs me so much, and I think we were talking about it yesterday.
That's Owen.
That's the problem. I think that's the live tweeting.
Go ahead, Matt.
I said I think that's the problem with live tweeting is people put their heads down to tweet it out and they miss something,
right.
but they're complaining about it in that tweet, and it's like, well, if you watched it or paused it to do your live tweet, then you might not have missed the explanation, and whether you liked it or not, they explained it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how everyone's missing the point.
I don't know.
They really are.
I think he's got it.
They're missing
he hit
the
it
point.
on the
They're
head.
not getting the characters. They're not paying attention. I see a heel tweet every single day, at least 3 times a day still.
Oh, God.
Every single day. There's a heel tweet. I'd say average on 3 to 5 a day. From new people watching it, from people rewatching it, just from anything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. I'm so sick of that.
I like to blame...
I don't get the sexism thing.
I like to blame Josh Whedon for that.
There's so much more important things. I don't even know if it's just him. It's just, it's sexism, but it's like backwards sexism. They're complaining about the wrong thing, and they're not getting it right.
I don't get what they're complaining about, though,
Yeah,
really.
well,
It's just...
I don't either.
But I think
not
they're
everyone's
kind of
got
just
time
piling
to
on,
bloody
really.
change their shoes.
I think everyone would have preferred if she lost her shoes and just ran around barefoot and had bloody feet and then had to hobble around and then ended up dying. That's what they would have wanted.
Well, I see a lot of people say they should have broke the heels off. Or
I feel like that would have been
mysteriously
worse.
found boots somewhere. I don't know.
But then
I
if
think
she took off
her...
But then if she took off her shoes and then threw them up, imagine like she's in a scene and she's like, oh, for goodness sake, takes her shoes off and throws them. Like, would that be classed as like a quirky sort of comedy moment that wasn't needed? Like, that everyone seems to bang on about all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have found something to complain about.
Of course.
They would have found something wrong.
They would have
with
said
it.
that was super dumb. That's exactly how it would have came across.
Yeah, and then they would have said, where did she...
Stupid.
Because everyone just has a spare pair of shoes lying around.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
All they need
you
is...
get some people who say, you saying women can't run in heels?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I've never tried, to be honest. I've never tried.
Well, I think
it's
you
given me motivation to try. I don't know. I guess it's possible.
You need to put together a video where you wear that outfit. You have the outfit, so just take those heels, go out in the woods, and just run and film it.
Yeah, and report back to
I'd
us.
probably die.
It's for science.
Okay, health and safety. Wear a crash helmet.
Yeah.
And like knee pads, and I'll just pad myself up and just have heels on. That's it. See what happens.
I think she's going to have quite a big role in the next one. I know she was probably... I guess that she was probably the main character, I think, in this one. It was about her, wasn't it, really, more than anything? But
I mean, she was #1 build on the script, but then when the movie came out, she was #2 build. Which I don't know how it flipped, or if that's even legal to flip from the script to the credits, but she was first build.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it is her. It's her world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially now, Masrani. That's the only mistake I think is killing off Masrani, because he was like one of my favourite characters.
Yeah.
I think he had a lot more to offer. I like the way he was, his quirkiness. He's sort of, although I know he had a lack of understanding, especially when it comes to the Wu. You know, when he had a conversation with Henry Wu, he didn't really get what he was saying. But I liked the, get some sun. He's just like the silly things like that, and he was really laid back. He's the type of boss that you'd want to work for.
Oh, definitely, yeah, he was a cool dude.
That's just how rich people are, though.
Yeah, but you see, he like
How's my bug
hammers
doing?
down. He hammers down later on in the film when he's talking about this Indominus cost us $27 million or whatever it was, $26 million. I don't know.
And that's it.
Yeah, so he becomes the boss again.
See, that's why I don't I've never warmed up to him because I don't know how to feel for him. I don't know if he's the guy in the helicopter excited about it or if he's we can't kill the animal because he's worth this much money. I don't know who he is exactly. Like it's like he's two different people at different times in different situations. So I never warmed up to him because I couldn't really pinpoint who he is.
Brad, was it on another pod of yours in a previous one that you spoke? I can't remember who it was, who the guest was. You spoke about maybe the possibility of another Indominus being on another island.
Yeah, that sounds really familiar. I don't remember where it came from. But yeah, I think did it stem from the fact that maybe the other Indominus wasn't eaten, I think, and maybe they separated them.
That was our Twitter.
That would make me
conversation,
sad.
Yeah, it would kind of like destroy the mystique of the Indominus because when you find out that she ate the sibling, like that's kind of terrifying.
Yeah. What don't you want to happen?
In the next one? I definitely don't want like a city destroying like Godzilla moment, Mm-hmm. I don't want that, and a lot of people are afraid of it. I don't think it's going to happen, but the scenario that they laid out in Jurassic World of bigger, badder, more teeth, kind of scares me in that sense because it's possible that they could go that route, but I still don't think they will. But that does kind of scare me.
Well, there's one along the lines of different quotes, right, from the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads us where we're going to go, and I don't think it'll be that route.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is there anything in the women inherit the earth thing? Does that mean man, or does that mean female species
female
of some
dinosaurs?
sort?
Yeah, that's a good question. It could be the female dinosaurs aspect.
That would be crazy.
Because they tend to.
Dinosaurs.
But then have they changed the genomes though? They've changed them quite a lot, haven't they? Because obviously from Jurassic Park they realised that the whole frog DNA didn't work very well because they kept changing sex from male to female.
Mm-hmm.
But they still seem to have female dinosaurs everywhere. Like it's only not until you go to the Lost World that Sauna that you get the male versions. Like even Jurassic World was all female again, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't remember hearing about any males.
Like all the raptors are all female again.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're. I think that is one thing I wish they actually went a bit more detail in on the different raptors there are and how, like, why they look so different and what's in them, so it's clear. Just I think it'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
To sort of know really. I know the Lego game and the Lego website, they posted a bit like a little paragraph about each one and what it's spliced with, but I don't know. Like unless you went on that, you wouldn't know, would you? You'd just think they're just different colours.
Yeah. Also, I know a lot of people have been complaining about like, the different colors. It looks kind of corny. It looks cheesy. And they're talking about the hybrid aspect of the dinosaurs as being kind of corny, and they don't want to see that in a sequel. But that's like a theory that's been there since the beginning. These dinosaurs have always been hybrids. Like, it's just they're upping the aspect of hybrid, but they've always been hybrids. They've always been mixed with something else, and it was a big theme in the book. So
I think that's their way of defending it, though, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like they've done hybrids so many times already, like you just said in the first one, and then especially this one. I don't know if they could get away with that again without it being repetitive and people saying, "Oh, this has been done a million times already." So I don't know if that'll be the core idea again. I hope not. I mean, they could throw it in there, but I hope it doesn't focus on it.
Yeah, I'd like to see a competitor's point of view. So like the Biosyn. Because obviously Hammond created these in his own sort of vision alongside B.D. Wong, and maybe Biosyn would create them but slightly different.
Because InGen, they hired Owen out of the Navy So does that mean that they're kind of his employers and not actually Masrani? So what would that do? His character arc be different? Well, then wasn't there a Bryce interview where she was saying how her character's not going to be anything like?
Yeah, I think she was just referring to it's going to be like toward the end. Her character is going to be like that. Nothing prior. It's just going to be moving on from assets to animals kind of deal. I think it's just her being more in the Owen camp of things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's drastic. It's just going to be how she was at the end.
Yeah, well, she definitely changed. Like people say, oh, nobody changed in this film. It's all one dimensional, but there was absolutely aspects of change in her, and it mirrored the same change that Grant went through. So I don't understand the hate between that part of the story.
I hate how people say how much they hate her character and all of this, and then they say there's no change. They say both of those things. They hate her character and there's no change. Okay, you can hate her character in the beginning, but there was huge change, and she's completely different, as Bray said, in the end. So how do you not see change, and how can you hate her later? I don't see it. That blows my mind.
I don't either.
Yeah. I think people just say things just to say things sometimes.
Exactly. It's so easy. People get more response from hate than they do like.
Yeah. However, I would love to see the legal fallout of all this. That is what I'm hoping is there. It's like it brings me back somehow to the table scene in the first one because it was so not legal heavy but logic heavy and discussion heavy, and I want that again. And so to kind of pull that into what they're doing with the sequel, I hope so. I want that. I need that
to see
again.
another boardroom meeting again.
Yeah,
just to see
because it's like what's
going to happen, how we're going to move forward from it.
Yeah, and I mean, they got to deal with all those problems, and I hope they just don't throw it under the rug. I hope they do deal with those problems in the huge fallout and just don't sweep it under and be like, it's fixed, it's fine, or one scene. I want that to haunt them, because that's normal, that's reality. I hope they follow that.
Yeah, like Bayona's, he was saying, when Colin saying that he's going to have a few risks with the film, and take some risks and going a different sort of route, and maybe that sort of side of it might come into it with the whole courtroom scene not courtroom.
I feel like they did establish, heavy discussion. I feel like with Jurassic World, they had to prove themselves that they have something that people would be interested in, and so they had to go huge on it. But now they can kind of sit back and really focus on pulling it from the first movie and different ideas and a feel of that, because they have their audience now, and they proved to the Universal that they have an audience, so then they could take their time with it. Hope.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they take their time with it, because I need scenes like that. Like those, to some may be a boring scene, but those are the most pivotal scenes in like the first film and the second film, and I absolutely love those. They need to come back, and I think
you remember those.
Yeah, I think they're the best. Like you can kind of quote them, from start to finish.
I can quote that entire whole scene.
Yeah, whether it's like the Raptor portion in the very beginning of the film where Grant's like messing with the kid, or that lunchroom scene, or the flea circus scene. We remember every aspect of those scenes.
Yeah,
you know what? Even in the third, and I was gonna say in the third movie, whenever Grant's doing his presentation, I even kind of felt it there a little bit, because I know the third movie gets a lot of hate, but there are
in the theater
pieces of the third movie that work. Yeah, when he's doing his school
Raptors,
or something,
rather than
that
humans,
scene kind of
be the dominant
felt
species.
right. like that kind of felt right. That was okay.
Yeah, that movie definitely had some of those down moments, and when I think he was talking with Eric about Billy and what was it, the astronauts and astronomers, that was an amazing scene as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It had pieces
I
here
liked,
and there, but everything else.
With this whole Bayona sort of, isn't he a horror director, isn't he?
Yeah. A lot of it, I think he branches out.
Do you think it will go to like a Lost World darker feel? Will it pick up where it left off, or will it be maybe sometime in the future, like the near future, not obviously ahead of itself, but
I've been thinking about
maybe
that.
maybe 2 years has passed since since the incident at Jurassic World, and
I think they will pass some time because we've never had a film that picks up right where we left off, or maybe even a flashback of some sort would be cool. I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I think all the movies they've done real time.
We might get it. Yeah.
I love time connectives. Anything that connects films like plausibly, I think it's good. It sort of justifies it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Could you imagine a sequence where, like, the film starts off, it says, however many years, 25 years or something like that, and it shows like a flashback of that Barbasol can getting covered in the mud, and then somebody comes across it, and then finally we get that aspect that we've been looking for a long time of that Barbasol can coming into actual play here. That would be really cool. And then you find out it turns into all these other companies around the world that are working on dinosaurs as well.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Cool.
Like, so they've what you mean, like literally within a day of Jurassic Park
exactly,
being
like real time
shut down,
with Jurassic Park.
They go in, and then they start their own company. But obviously, where they've had to catch up, they haven't opened Jurassic World. Is that what you're saying?
It can basically follow that Telltale game. That was the portion of that game where they went in there and they found that. I think they found it. I don't remember specifically, but that was their goal.
Yeah, I like that side of the story.
Yeah,
I mean, that's quite cool.
Hold on 1 second. Let me try to patch in somebody else here.
Hello?
Hey, Dan, you there?
Hey, what's going on?
Right, Dan.
Welcome to the madness.
Hello.
Hey, Dan. We got we got Jennifer Terek here, Stephen Hurrell, James Hawkins, and Matt Parody here. So, how's it going, man? What's up? You're a little late to the game, but we're glad to have you.
Discussing how late people are.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was being chased by a T-Rex. Luckily, I had a flare on me, and I was able to lose her.
We're always carry one. You never know.
You weren't wearing heels, was you?
No. Luckily, I was able to get away.
Probably could have ran faster with them, though. You never know.
Yeah. Can you please do that? Can you maybe put the phone call on pause, go get some heels and run? Try it.
Yeah, sure.
Let us know how it works, or do the entire phone call on heels running. Try that.
There you go.
So we're in the middle of talking about
feasible.
We're in the middle of talking about Jurassic World and some of the hate it gets, but also some of the things we love about it. So I'm going to put you on the spot right away. What are your thoughts on Jurassic World after a full year?
I think it's pretty awesome. I actually watched it 2 nights ago, and I couldn't believe it's been a year already. But I think the movie was awesome. I think that there's a lot of unfair criticisms with it. But I think that the storyline was great. I think, the acting was great. I don't know why there was so much criticism along with it.
Yeah, I think that's a consensus we've all kind of agreed upon, that we don't get it. We don't get the hate, but we absolutely all love it. I think not one of us here is a hater.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it was misguided. I think that people were expecting, basically the same movie we all know and love, from the 90s, and it just
that's
can't
the
be
point,
the
though,
same.
isn't it? Yeah, it can't be the same. Like, we're in the 21st century. We've got like iPhones, technology. Everything's gonna get taken a photo of. You've got like kids these days are exposed to a lot more than what we were back in the 90s. Everything wasn't new. Everything was new back then. Like, I remember when the first film came out. We've said this on a previous pod, Brad. I remember, like, I was only 6 when the first film came out, and it scared the pants off me because nothing like that I'd ever seen before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was used to Land Before Time. That was, bit of a tearjerk, to suddenly some massive T-Rex eating a man off a toilet. Although it was a funny scene, but do you know what I mean? It's suddenly, because that was the first film to use CGI to that sort of level, my brain just couldn't comprehend like what I was looking at, and it it was too much for me when I was that age. It wasn't until a year later that after watching it on VHS, it got to. I sort of grew to love the film and appreciated it for everything that it offered.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, I remember we were talking one time, one of our most recent podcasts, and I think you brought up a great point about you can't like experience that wonder and awe from that like Brachiosaurus scene because it's already happened, and you can't relive that again.
Yeah, it's chasing the T-Rex. You know, that's what everyone talks about. You know, that's what they say. You know, a lot of drug addicts are doing. They're chasing that first high that they had. And it's the same thing with Jurassic Park. You know, you can't have those feelings again because you've had them. That's gone.
Just like now, you can't replicate the Jurassic World feels now in the sequel because that's happened. So they're gonna have to reinvent something and create new feels.
That's what I think the Lost World was. That's why I think it works so well because it just offers something completely different. Like it's Jurassic Park because of the design aspects of the animals, I guess, and returning characters, or a returning character. But where the film is so different, I think it works because it's not repeating itself again.
Yeah.
And Lost World gets a lot of hate, and I don't understand why. I think it's a brilliant film. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. That's the problem. Like every one of these sequels have been different. You know, even Jurassic Park 3, it's very different. They're all different. So I don't understand why, just because this one's different, you know, it gets hate.
Yeah, no. I just hope that they do something that will make the general public understand more, rather than people like us that are complete obsessed with the films and look into like they follow news, they love anything that's got the games. Do you know what I mean? Like we're on everything. We know what's happening and what's going on. We're following on Twitter, Facebook, and everything. And like general people, like some people, like there's a new Jurassic Park film out there. No, right, and they need something to sort of bring them back to the franchise to sort of think, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
because some people don't realise it's the same T-Rex.
If Jurassic World didn't do that, I don't know how anything could. Because I think that was as perfect as possible as to bring people who loved it in and new people because it was fast paced and a lot of explosions and stuff people like. So I don't know how they could really. There
was a lot of. I'll tell you what, it was in there, but I think where the problem lies, Jen, is where it's not in your face told about. Like the T-Rex, for example, we all know that's the original one, but
like the exposition then.
My fiance didn't have a clue. She didn't know. She just thought, oh, there's a T-Rex. She didn't think twice that it was the same one from the first film, and that's what makes us love that T-Rex more. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I've told many people after the fact.
People, they don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brad, go on.
No, I've told many people after the fact that was the original T-Rex, and then they're like, oh, wow, really? And I'm like, yeah,
exactly.
All they did need was just one sequence, one line in that the T-Rex paddock scene where Gray and Zach are in there. They could have just said, "This is the same T-Rex from the original park 23 years ago or whatever," and
like
then
they said
it would
about
have been
the
solved.
gate.
Exactly. Yeah, they said that in the monorail.
Yeah.
I think it's on the intercom that the lady's like, the T-Rex Kingdom, feeding now. You know how she goes in the background.
Yeah, she talks.
But I think it's so quiet, it's not obvious. Like Zach, that's the perfect time. Sorry, for Gray to have a line. Come on! Like this is like the original T-Rex.
Yeah.
Do you know? So that's all it needed.
Exactly.
Was that? I know the flare was a great nod, but even that, I don't think people would have noticed.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, it could be a thing with all T-Rexes. They might think like all T-Rexes love goats and flares. Normal.
Yeah. Well, even though it missed the mark a little bit here and there, we all still love it, and it's an amazing film, and I'm definitely gonna love it. Like you said, 20 years from now, I think we're all gonna still really enjoy the film. But one of the things people haven't been enjoying as well is the toys. Dan, what's your thought on these toys? Did you actually get any of them or no? I don't think you did you?
No, I didn't. Initially, I was kind of, I think I was just initially disappointed, just because I grew up with I would say the best toys.
Of course.
And again, it's kind of the same, kind of like what we were talking about before, where you almost expect the same thing from what we grew up with and what we've seen 20 years ago. But it's just not like that, so initially I was kind of disappointed, but then as I kind of kept seeing new ones come out and even just take them for what they are, they're toys, right? I actually think that they're pretty good. I mean, they're not the same, but they're
minus screw holes.
There are a lot of screw holes. There are imperfections, but some of the paint's a little wonky. But other than that, I mean, I think they pretty much they serve the purpose, right?
Yeah. Well, can you tell me how many times when we were playing with these toys in the past that we talked about the paint scheme or the screw holes? Can you tell me how many times we talked about that?
No. Kids love them. Kids don't care.
No, not at all. I think they're fun, great toys, and I actually just recently got the hybrid Raptor, the newest one with that original Explorer paint scheme, and I think that thing's great. It's got screw holes and stuff, but it's a fun toy. It's really cool.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, I think if they were making these toys for me, I wouldn't be buying them at Toys R Us for like $6. You know what I mean? I'd be looking for they're toys, But I think that they're pretty great. I think that the detail's pretty good on them. With the exception of some of these screw holes and paint and whatnot, but I do wish that they made
a model in that toy.
Yeah, I kind of wish they made some life-size figure, or not life-size figures, but yeah, that'd be
40-foot T-Rex in the garden.
But
we all want one.
Some of the original sized characters, I think that's something that I was missing initially too.
Yeah.
Have you seen all them Chronicle models that they've made so far?
Yeah, I think they look really cool, but the problem is they're so expensive,
Oh yeah, you're looking at probably $500, but it's just they are so good. They're almost, I think they're identical to the Stan Winston ones.
Yeah, that's what they're molded off of. So
didn't they say that T-Rex one, the bust, not the bust, the one where it's bursting out from the its enclosure, where it's roaring? I think that one, I believe, is either 60 inches or 60 centimeters. That's still both pretty big, isn't it?
Some of them are huge. That's Stegosaurus that came out recently. That was much bigger than I imagined. And I think they showed a picture with a person holding it or something.
There was a girl, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was a woman holding it. Yeah, I saw that.
The thing was giant. Matt, what do you think about these toys from Hasbro?
I haven't gotten enough of them yet, which says something about both my financial state and my emotional state as an adult. But I have one. I have the one of the Raptors, and I'm a little upset that it's so static. The old toys, you could move them so much more, and there was so much, more you could do with them. So I feel like they haven't lived up to the older toys, but at the same time, I do enjoy a dinosaur toy, whether it's crap or not. So
yeah. And the fact is, we're just going to put these on a shelf, most likely, or let any kid that comes over play with them, maybe. But
don't tell me what to do with my toys, Brad.
No, but we're not. I mean, I haven't tested them in that sense, but when I was a kid, I used to throw them around.
Well, you ever been in the bath
with
your Mosasaurus?
I don't know how much these things would hold up for that.
Shy. Sorry, go on, carry on.
Yeah, I don't know if it would hold up if you dunked it in your bathtub too well, but it would probably fall apart. It would just disintegrate. Yeah.
Actually, we got the one thing that was out of the Jurassic World toys was the 15 pack of random minifigures.
Mm-hmm.
And each pack was guaranteed to have at least one Indominus Rex, but besides that, everything else was random. And I got a pack of those.
I don't think we got them over in the UK.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think so. To be fair, the US got quite a lot of stuff. All them, the little jelly sweets, jelly candy stuff. We didn't get any of that either.
You could you could check on Amazon. That's where I got my second bag of those little dinosaurs.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only issue that is we have to pay like $25, $30
shipping. I know. You pay $3 for the actual thing, and then like $25 for shipping.
Yeah,
probably like ridiculous.
The only things that we really got was the excavation kits, where you have to knock the hardened sand away to reveal
that's cool.
a little dinosaur.
That's awesome.
So there's a little raptor that my wife and I have been taking to the weddings we go to, and we take pictures with it. And so that one's gotten a lot of playtime.
Nice, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I enjoy the things, and I think they'll bring fun to a lot of kids who pick them up. Where was I the other day? Oh, I went to an air show near me, and I was walking in, and the kid in front of me had a raptor in his hand, and he's just like carrying it in and hitting the button every 2 seconds. He was just doing this. Like every 2 seconds, and I was just laughing. I'm like, hey, I just bought that 2 days ago.
You have it right on hand too.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like right there.
My desk is getting a little overcrowded. I've got 4 of those growler raptors right in front of me.
What did you think of the new sounds of the animals?
In the movie?
Yeah.
I thought the T-Rex was a little different.
Weren't they?
Yeah, the T-Rex sounded a little different. The Raptors...
She sounded older and more rugged, didn't she?
Yeah.
A bit like the Lost World one.
Mm-hmm. The Raptors, I thought, definitely sounded different, and then they threw, like, those sounds that we know and love, like, in the background more so, like those squeals and everything. Yeah, they threw them in the background. They weren't so, like, in your face as they were in previous movies. But overall, I really liked the design of how they sounded. The Indominus, especially. That thing sounded great. I love the new sound of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I like the Indominus sound, but it's not one that you remember. Like, you know how the T-Rex's roar is just so...
Well, it's iconic, yeah.
It's like, yeah. Like, you know that. When you hear that roar on any other film or program or toy, you're like, that's a T-Rex roar. You know instantly.
Yeah.
Now, with the Indominus roar, I could hear that, and I don't think I'd think, oh, that's the Indominus Rex's roar.
Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot of TV shows and different things that have used the same, like, raptor sounds. I don't know if you noticed. I think...
yeah.
One of them, I think, was a Steven Spielberg-produced thing. I'm blanking on the name of it at the moment. And I think they were both were. Man, I can't remember the names of these shows. But one was like an alien show on, like, TNT, maybe? And they used the exact raptor sound. And it always freaked me out. Every time I watched it, I was like, oh, there's a raptor's in this show now. But...
What, the barking raptor sound?
Yeah.
Noise.
I think that was the noise, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting
was
to
that
see
Falling
where they
Skies?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, Noah Wiley.
Yeah, I loved that show, and I remember they used those raptor sounds, and it threw me off every time. And there was another show, I forget what the name of it was, but it was on like Fox for one season. But yeah, let's move on here. I think James, you brought it up before, but like what we kind of hope to see in the sequels here. Steve, what do you want to see when it comes to the next year? It doesn't even have to be in the sequel. Like, what do you want to see in the next year, leading up, or next 2 years leading up to the next film?
I'd probably say a decent poster. Doesn't have to reveal much of the new film that's coming out, but just enough to get you excited and pumped for the next one. Maybe if it's even like a shadow of a Dilophosaurus, because that's the one dinosaur I want to see in the next film.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little snippet or anything really. Just something for the next film.
Yeah, it's got to be coming soon. I don't know. I'm sure they'll release just a title poster soon, maybe in the next few months, but I'd love to see something like that actually foreshadows what's to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you other guys are open to the suggestion of a different type of logo, or do you still want the same logo but with a different title? Because I know the Jurassic Park 3 incident kind of kicked up a stink, but
I hope they kind of go with that darker, like Lost World style title, but obviously stick with somewhat of a theme. I don't know.
I'd like to just know a time frame.
Like
when is this going to happen? Like when is this set? Like, because that's, I think, going to drive a big part of the storyline, and then that allows us to kind of speculate and thinking as to what's going on.
Yeah,
we talked about that a little earlier, and I like the idea that it goes with time as we're 22 years later and such. But I want to see what happened right after the film, but I would love for it to keep in time. So I'm really, really torn. I don't know which way I want to go with it. I hate skipping ahead because I feel like we'll miss a lot of things, especially like the legal things. And I don't know. I'm really torn on it.
It's the legal things you want to see.
I do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like another table scene is on the cusp. Like I feel like another scene like that can happen with this. There's a lot of meat in here that they could talk about.
I wouldn't mind
like
seeing
the deleted scene in Lost World.
Wouldn't mind seeing Main Street 3 years later, even if it's for 10-15 minutes at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think we kind of have to see the ramifications at the island like itself. I'd love to see that in kind of ruins after, however much time has passed.
Yeah, the thing is that we're fighting for is that with this type of film, you'd think they're kind of marketing at kids at the same time trying to, reignite the franchise and keep the old fans happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be any longer than 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, because one, I think this day and age, kids will get bored if it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if they've got to get to the point, and I think if we do have any of them scenes that we want, they won't be as drawn out. But I desperately do hope that they do put one of them types of scenes. I won't be bothered if they didn't, as long as there was useful, something good that was in its place. But
I don't know if I buy that they have to keep it short, because just look at Harry Potter movies are years long. Lord of the Rings is years long. Even Star Wars goes forever, and some of those superhero movies are forever. So I don't know if that role really stands anymore as much as it may have. No, I mean, there's a lot of movies out there that really have long run times. Kids movies even. Not cartoons, but family movies.
How would you feel, though, if just say the next film was, say, 2.5 hours long?
I would go 2.5 days long would be fine with me.
No. I don't mean how would you feel about. I don't mean how would you feel about going to see the film that's 2.5 hours long? Because I could, like you said, I could watch a 4-hour film. It wouldn't bother me if it was Jurassic Park. But would that make you then think, Jurassic World was? I wish that had been longer.
No, because as I said before, Jurassic World established an audience. I feel like they were proving themselves that they could reinvigorate the franchise, and they were proving it to the network and to everybody involved, and that they succeeded. So now they can do whatever they want, in a sense, and really hit the points they want, slow it down, make it longer. They don't have to fit all the points of a demographic necessarily.
Yeah, I'd love them to do like an extended edition. So if they want to do a cinema cut, let them do it. But on the DVD release, they've got to have the full thing, really. Mm-hmm. I want to know a title. That's what I'm looking forward to most, because then it just starts the whole ball rolling, doesn't it? When you hear a title, everyone starts guessing, and everyone will just be going mental about the title. Like, did you see the JurassicWorld.org, the Jurassic Outpost? Everyone was just going mad, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like, we was all laughing, because I knew that it was just them changing their title, their thing. But the media were getting involved.
I can't believe the media jumped on that. That was crazy.
That was pretty crazy. And they fell
a little
for
research,
it so bad.
really. Yeah.
So, Matt, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to dinosaurs in a war zone killing each other with Billy there training them and Owen having to take him down.
Yes, we gotta see Billy again. Come on.
Specific.
You got the whole film outlined right in front of you.
Yep. I mean, I'd be happy with anything really. I mean, I just want the franchise to continue it in a nice manner. But I'm cool with them opening up on a different park, and then these quote unquote experts having to be brought in because something goes wrong, or them going the way Hoskins wanted with a defense project. I'm very interested in anything in any direction they go.
Yeah,
but I do think it will be in real time.
Okay, yeah. So 3 years later.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years later, exactly.
How does anyone feel about dinosaurs fighting modern day animals? Or even me and Brad had a discussion of them bringing back like Ice Age animals as well, not just dinosaurs. Maybe dinosaurs somehow being the hero as they have been. But how do you feel about other animals or even prehistoric animals?
Maybe if it was set in Africa and you had all the African lions against the raptors, and that would be really cool to see.
It'd be cool to see. You just got
any
to
more
try and
animals.
think of, like, how would they do it? Like, how would you do that? Like, what would be the reason for them to be in Africa as absolutely brilliant it'd be?
Because maybe other companies got their hand on the technology, and so they've been messing around with it all over the world.
And created like a safari where you go
doing
and
whatever
see
they want.
elephants, lions, raptors, Dilophosaurus, and anything you need.
Yeah.
All the animals.
I like the
place.
idea of the Ice Age sort of thing. Maybe in Siberia, somewhere in that was mentioned in the Masrani Global sort of website thing. But I don't think it would be used in the same way. I think it would be used as a reference that there are companies that are using the same technology, but they're not building dinosaurs. They're trying to build, I guess, like a primal world, but rather than just not just dinosaurs. And I think it would be used, if they did use it, probably just to say, look, this is what we're doing, this is what we've done, and then it'll go back to, I don't know, it's just an idea, I think.
That's cool too. I think it'd be epic just to even see that.
If they did the Ice Age things as not its own park, just like part of Jurassic Park, I would feel like that was cheap, because the Ice Age monsters are just so great in their own right that if they just had them as like, come to our cold land where we have saber-toothed tigers and mastodons and all that fun stuff, I'd be like, well, I want to see dinosaurs and I want to see them. Like, this isn't fair.
Yeah. Because you could have, imagine this all around the world, different places. You'd have Jurassic World, did have Ice Age World in the north. I don't know, you could go somewhere where they've built a massive, huge underwater style area. I don't know, I can't think off the top of my head, but where it's got like what's it called? What's the word? Like underwater animals. All like the Mosasaurus and the Plesiosaurs and that sort of world. Bit like the game, I guess, the Ludia game.
Yeah.
But then I had a feeling that's where Jurassic World was going until I watched the film and then the climax, and it was all like Chapter 11. And I thought, oh, well, maybe not. They're not going to go anymore then.
Yeah, I think the park aspect has to die, in the next film. I think, like you said, Chapter 11, I think they've got to be done. Like, and even Colin said, like, there's only so many times you can go back to, a park setting. I think he said, he recently said that in an interview.
So that means we're getting war dinosaurs.
I think so. I think you're on the right track.
All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it's kind of scary, to think of war dinosaurs and stuff like that. That could potentially go the wrong way, a different way, because a lot of people have been saying like, "Oh, Jurassic World is not Jurassic Park; it's so different." And if they went that route, people would be seriously complaining. But who knows?
I feel like we're going to get complaints regardless.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think you're right.
So
you can never make everyone happy.
Yeah, is that you literally cannot. Yeah, so.
Yeah. The thing is, you make loads of... Go on.
Yeah, the only issue with utilising like dinosaurs for war, because of all this like SeaWorld stuff where they're keeping animals in enclosures, that may kick up even more of a stink.
Blackfish.
It's like a morality aspect to it.
Yeah, like why are you using dinosaurs to trap them and train them?
I'm surprised that didn't come more into play in Jurassic World, because the second I saw that Mosasaurus jump out of the pond there, I thought for sure there'd be like people picketing outside the park, or some sort of news, thing on the news about like people demanding them to take these dinosaurs out of the park or something like that.
Yeah.
There was none of that.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they did with the mosasaur after the park was evacuated.
Yeah, because I mean, it wouldn't last too long.
Imagine lifting that thing out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know there's no way it could possibly jump out and get into the ocean unless there's some sort of pipe or something that's big enough for it to go through.
Yeah.
I've just had an idea.
Free Willy moment.
I've just had an idea. See now, right? Think, right? How are you going to get something like that out? It needs to stay in water, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Preferably, you think about it. So, how would they move that? I don't know how. I don't know. I had a little vision in my head of 4, them like big army style double propellered helicopters.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called. What are they called?
Chinooks.
That works.
Chinooks, that's it. Thanks, Steve. I knew he'd know. One of them, like, just imagine like 4 of them, like picking up like a fin each, and carrying the Mosasaurus out of the lagoon across the thing to the ocean, and then crashing into each other, and the Mosasaurus then escapes into the water, into the ocean.
Yeah.
And then you just like you can hear that my swearing, sorry.
It's alright, you'll get a nice raptor sound over your voice.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
So
so
how much did the Mosasaur weigh?
I don't know, we'd have to ask Gray.
You've got to look at how many pounds? I still don't get that. I'm glad. Do you know what? I'm glad Zach went. That doesn't make any sense because it don't at all. And I just think, well, that could have been used for a perfectly decent line that did make sense.
Yeah, I guess they could have subbed it out. Yeah.
There were minor flaws in Jurassic World, and that line was one of them.
Yeah. So I remember instantly in the cinema. I was thinking, did he just say how many pounds?
Yeah, I guess it's just establishing that kid needs to know everything. So
yeah,
he wants to know how much this island weighs and everything. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, you're right. They probably could have subbed that out for something more appropriate.
Yeah, that video also said about him saying that his character was meant to be autistic, but then they changed it to so he was just odd.
Yeah,
and I think he portrays that quite well. Like, I work with kids. I work in the school for those that don't know, and I work with 4 to 11-year-olds, and some of them are autistic, ADHD, and Asperger's, and have all these different like special needs. But it's more of and he does actually play it quite well. And I deal with kids like that on a daily basis, and that they know everything. Like, you could put them in an exam, they couldn't write a paragraph, but they know exactly what they're talking about when it's something they're interested in. Mm-hmm. And I think he actually captures that quite well. And he gets, and his character, I don't know if it's him or his character that gets the abuse, I guess, but I think he does it all right.
Yeah, I think he really did. That's how it came across to me. I think I got the picture right away when he was asking so many questions and knew so much about all the different dinosaurs and everything. I was like, well, I knew a lot about dinosaurs as a kid, but I think he's got something else going on, and I think that makes his character special.
Mm.
Yeah.
And different from Tim, too.
I guess, like, there's a lot of similarities between the two. Their age, like, their knowledge, I guess. But Tim, I guess, is a little bit more like Gray is in the film, in the book. Because Tim in the book, he knows, like, how many vertebrae there are in certain animal species, and that's something that you'd expect Gray to come out with.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Don't we want to move on from that?
And I actually wanted to ask Jen a question here. I know you've been doing a lot of fundraising and charity through BDH Network. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, sure. I don't know if anyone's really heard. I've been trying to promote, but Bryce has one of her best friends ever has Huntington's disease, which is a horrible mix of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. You get it before you're 40, and it's genetic. So and there's no cure, and it's terrible. It's like you have a perfectly normal mind your entire life, but then as soon as you hit 36, 37, you just start to get Parkinson's and Alzheimer's at the same time, and it's
so young
genetic.
As well, isn't it?
Yeah, and you're fine. Your mind is fine until then, and it's like you know that's going to happen. So you kind of have to do everything you want before then, and there's no cure, and there's hardly any treatment for it, and it's terrible. And she's always trying to bring awareness to it, and May is Huntington's Disease Awareness Month, and so I was thinking, what can I do for that? So I made like Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, and Bryce stickers that people could donate to the charity, and then they'll receive stickers as a reward, and I'll mail them right to you free. Just to all 100% proceeds go right to the charity. I'm hooked up on Indiegogo and like generosity.com, and it's all goes directly to their bank account. I don't even touch the money; it just goes right to them. And so 100% proceeds, and you get cool stickers out of it that people have been donating to me and I've been making and such. So, and all our options are there, and you can pick anything you want, any amount, anything at all, and it's all on our website and Twitter. And it's pinned on our Twitter and everything, and all the details are there. But it's for a really, really, really great cause that's really close to Bryce. And then it's for Mariana Polka is her name, and I've been talking to her a lot, and she's a fantastic individual. And anything we could do, anything.
Have
like,
you approached any of the celebrities or anything?
I mean, Bryce has tweeted it out and retweeted it out, and she's and her husband, and like basically within the community, but not further than that. I don't know how to contact anyone outside of my circle.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll all try to do our best to push it out there.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool to say that you're in the circle, though.
Yeah, I am in the circle. At one point, the organization was sending me things to send to Bryce's people.
Wow.
Which is, whoa. But yeah, they all know about it, and they're all involved, and they're trying to spread it. But I mean, Bryce is already involved with it outside of me. I'm just kind of like a little branch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great cause. Yeah.
Good luck with it.
You're doing great work, definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'd love any promotion, any donations, anything like that, because it really is a horrible, horrible disease, and no one really knows about it. I don't know how many of you even heard of it before. But it's
I hadn't. I didn't realise you could suffer both of that at the same time. That's awful, isn't it?
Yeah. At a rapid pace, more than normal, and it's not even an old age. It's really, and it's all genetic. If one of your parents have it, you have 50% chance of getting it.
Really? Wow. Do you know how common it is?
I don't think it's that common. It's small percent, maybe 3% people have it, and even if you have it, and more people have the gene because it's only 50%. So I think 3% actually have it, because it's Mariana, for example. She has it. Her sister does not, but her cousin does. So it's all spread in her family.
Yeah.
Weirdly dispersed. But it's a terrible, terrible thing. So I'm trying to do what I can to get at least spread awareness, even if I don't make a lot of money. At least
at least that's doing something then, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, you can't try anymore, don't they?
Yeah, I'll make sure we tweet out that every time you tweet it, and I'll include all the links in the show notes so people can join in and be a part of that.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I do have one thing I want to talk about real quick, and it's kind of a little surprise, but the podcast now has a website. It's been a long time coming. I've been working on it over the past few weeks. I've been building the website to hold all the episodes, some show notes, even some written articles. I'm going to plan on diving into that a little bit, and of course information about the show and the people who produce it, and you five included. I'll make sure to include a lot of stuff about you and you guys on there and all your links. So I'm super excited to announce that and reveal it like this week. So it's going to debut as soon as this comes out. And I hope it will be a great source for everybody who listens, and for those who want to find out more about Jurassic Park. And make sure to head over there. It's at JurassicParkPodcast.com. So go take a look, leave some comments, read everything, let us know what you think, and hopefully it'll be a good source for everybody.
Sounds great.
Congrats.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm
going to include all you guys in on it, and maybe we can get you all more involved in that aspect as well. So we'll have to see.
That'd be good. What sort of things are you planning on adding onto the website, Brad?
I'm open to anything, but for now, I'm just going to be putting the podcast up there and the articles and different things. Like, I want to try to include maybe if we have a specific episode about a certain topic, maybe we can have a write up about that, or kind of to counteract some of the hate in the community at the moment. So maybe stuff like that we can try to push out there and get people interested.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, no, I'll check it out, definitely. When is it up and running now?
What's that?
I said, is it up and running now?
Well, not at the moment of recording, but it will be as soon as the podcast comes out.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
I'll put a link in the site for you.
Awesome. Yeah. I was thinking about adding something like that as well, so I still have a little bit of work to do as of this recording, but I'll definitely add stuff like that to get to all you guys.
Very
Excellent.
Awesome.
So why don't we wrap it up a little bit? It's been an hour and a half here. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I
I think
know.
it's one of the longest ones. So do you guys have anything you want to end with, or any last words?
Maybe.
No.
I always
Everybody
say
all
that-
at once. Just talk. Go
No,
ahead.
we all have kind of words. I always say that like Jurassic Park shaped my life, but Jurassic World changed my life. I say that all the time because it's so true. Jurassic
That's
Park
great.
made me who I am, and then Jurassic World changed it and evolved it, and I cannot imagine my life without it. It completely changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't really know what else to say. Yeah.
We all had
Just more.
something that, and now we got nothing.
I guess you can find me and Steve on Jurassic Unicast if you wanted to follow us on Twitter. We're always on there posting stuff and
Yeah, you
what
guys
we
just
do.
changed your handle recently, so
We
people
did.
can find you a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less of a mouthful as well. It used to be JP_Till_I_Ty. And Steve managed to change it to Jurassic Unicast, which is what our YouTube channel is about. On there, we've actually had a few. I don't know whether you guys know. Obviously, Brad's been on our podcast before. We've done a few bits and bobs on there about. We did a Star Wars pod, didn't we? That was quite fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And stuff that we do. So if anyone wants to give us a follow and check out our YouTube channel, that'd be great.
Awesome, Matt. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Matt Parody on Twitter, and you can hear my sultry tones on other podcasts such as RPG Academy, Zero's Talking Heroes, and the defunct, probably questionable podcast if you want to hear me natter on about nonsense. You can also find me at Friday Night Face Off if you're ever in the New York area and you want to see an improv show.
Awesome. Yeah, that's got to be awesome. I can't wait. I got to check that out sometime.
Come on up, man.
Yeah. Dan, what about you? Where's everybody finding you?
I don't know. I'm unfortunately rarely on Twitter, but you can find me at
So give out your address. Where do you live?
No one can.
at Daniel_Caron, and from time to time on this podcast.
Yeah, a lot of times. I think you're the most guested person. So.
But Brad, it's been a year of awesome podcasting with you, and congratulations on a full year. And,
thank you.
Can't wait to see what happens going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with everything else.
Yeah.
Any news that's coming out, it should be good. Like that's the thing. Your podcasts are quite consistent, aren't they? They're they're weekly. And what episode are we on now?
This should be 53.
Wow. And that's 53 weeks. Wow.
Yeah. Jen, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Jennifer_Lynn89, and you could find the Bryce Dallas Howard Network at BDH Network, which Bryce just followed 2 days ago, by the way. Amazing.
That's awesome.
Go on, Bryce.
Follower number 139. That's me.
You're in the inner circle.
Gonna frame that. I know. I really am in the inner circle. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
changed my life.
I think the best part about doing this podcast is meeting awesome people like you and interacting with the people who make these films, and so many others that have been a part of the show or just the community in general. Countless people have emailed, called into the voicemail line, responded to our polls, and any other kind of questions that we throw out there. And everybody has interacted immensely on social media, so I really, really appreciate that. And of course, I got to thank you guys for coming on here and being a part of this nearly every week. I consider you all, every one of you, part of the podcast. You're not just a guest or anything. So, and even the people that aren't here on this episode, I consider you all, part of the show. And it's not just my show; it's your show. You're all super important, and you're all hosts along with me. And I've said it from the start. It's a community podcast, and that's the reason why you five are here today. And I just wanted to say thank you. So thanks to you guys and to everybody else.
Yeah.
And thank you.
You do an amazing job. Yeah. You're really good. Producing it, amazing. Every week.
Keep it going.
Applaud to you. Amazing, dude.
Thank you so much, guys. I definitely plan to keep it going for a while. So we'll be in touch, and we'll have you on again soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking forward to it.
Take it easy, guys.
See you later.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Jurassic World. Explore the park like never before with this amazing fan project. Ride a gyrosphere in first person and learn all about Jurassic World's history and scenery. Come up close and observe our beautiful dinosaurs located all around the park. The park is open. So, what are you waiting for? Jurassic World 3D project. Download it for free today and get exploring.
Now, you've just heard the reveal of the big project I've been working on for a little while now behind the scenes. The Jurassic Park Podcast now has a website. Head over to JurassicParkPodcast.com to take a peek at everything we have to offer. Now, I just wanted to take a second to kind of do a rundown of the website for you. Like a lot of websites, the homepage is our blog, where you can find every episode of the podcast, along with any written articles or other news. Now, each week you'll be able to find the show notes, along with each episode, directly in our feed. The articles, they'll come whenever we feel inspired or have some news to report. Now, if you look up at our navigation, we'll include links to iTunes and YouTube, as well as our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram feeds for easy access. Of course, the About section has a little bit of information about the podcast and myself as the host. You'll also find my personal Twitter feed directly in there, just in case you want some updates from me. I made sure to add a great section under contributors to showcase everybody you heard here on the podcast today, because they have all been such important parts of the show. You'll see their lovely faces, a little bit of info on them, and their Twitter links. I've also included Twitter links to every guest who's been a part of the podcast before. Now, that section will surely be growing in the coming years, so don't forget to keep checking back as we add more guests. Now, if you get lost or need some kind of information, maybe you're looking for a specific episode or a certain topic or a guest that's been part of the show, you can use the search function on our homepage over on the sidebar. Now, I think it'll make it easier for you to track down anything that you're interested in. Say, for instance, you're looking for more information about park maps, throughout the Jurassic series. All you got to do is type in park maps, search for it, and you'll see episode 31 with Dan Caron, where we talked about all the incongruences in the park maps. Or if you want to find any episode with Jennifer Terek, just type in her name and the episode will pop up. Now, throughout the website, you'll see our social links for the aforementioned Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and iTunes, but also for Google Play, SoundCloud, Tumblr, Flickr, and our email, actually. You can also choose to head to our contact page to find our phone number along with a contact form if you ever want to send anything in. It'll send it directly to us. So if you want to submit a topic, request to be a guest, send in your top 5s or 10s, or really anything else, you can do so right there on the contact page. So please, head over to JurassicParkPodcast.com to check everything out, like the posts, share the posts, and let everybody know that you visited and listened to the podcast.
Hold your fire, do not fire!
God creates man, man destroys God, man creates dinosaurs. Boy, I hate being right all the time.
We're gonna have to drop the can! Are you ready? 1, 2, 1!
This week, I have an audio segment for you. It's a fun interview with Ariana Richards and Joe Mazzello all the way back in 1993, where they visited the Today Show to talk with Katie Couric about Jurassic Park. Take a listen.
Dinosaurs in the new movie Jurassic Park are just creatures on the screen to most kids. There are a couple of youngsters to whom the big reptiles mean a whole lot more. They are Ariana Richards and Joe Mazzello, who played the two children in the movie, and being terrified wasn't always an act. Ariana Richards and Joe Mazzello, good morning. Congratulations to both of you.
Thanks.
How much fun was this, Ariana?
It was so much fun. It was just, I think, the most wonderful experience with Steven and the dinosaurs and everything.
Joe, how about for you? Was it fun or was it scary some of the time?
It was really a thrill to work with all dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs were scary because they're just so real, they're realistic, everything.
You had a close call, didn't you, during one of the scenes that you all had, one of the very scary scenes, I might add, in the kitchen. Tell me what happened.
Well, what's supposed to happen is I'm supposed to go running into the freezer, a walk-in freezer, and there's this pole. And so the dinosaur sees me, and it's running after me. And so I go, and I swing around this pole, and it slips on the ice. And so what happens is I have to get out. I slip in the ice also. So I get out just in time, and I close the door shut.
But didn't it hit you somehow? And
it
hit you on the head with its claw, didn't it?
Yeah, what happened was, when I go into the freezer, I'm supposed to bear left, and it's supposed to bear right. But what happened was, when I bared left, it bared left with me.
Ooh,
and,
it wasn't supposed to happen. And then what happened?
And it hit me right here on the head, and I got black and blue, and it was my birthday. So.
It was your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Top things off, it was your birthday, and the dinosaur hit you in the head.
Yeah.
Did you have any scary moments?
Well, I think the whole thing was really an adventure to shoot, and there were a few scary parts. I think I always remember this scene with the T-Rex where Joe and I are in the Jeep, and we have like this plastic bubble over us, and the T-Rex is smashing down on us, and it's biting this thing, and we're screaming.
In fact, there's
Very
Mr.
scary.
T himself.
Oh yeah,
doing that. That was scary, wasn't it? Did you? You know, obviously the dinosaurs aren't real. Hello, but did you ever worry that the mechanical things were going to fall on top of you, or that something would go wrong?
One time when that happened, the plastic bubble was over us, and it was screeching against the plastic bubble. One time, one of its teeth fell off.
Oh, wow.
And I was just so scared. I thought like it crashed and it was just going to come down at us. So I just rolled out of the car, and I didn't know what was going to happen.
All we had between us and the T-Rex was this little thin sheet of plastic, and it's very scary because it's really there and it's biting the scene. It really left teeth marks on it too, because it was really biting it in the scene.
Gosh, now what was Steven Spielberg like to work with?
He was great.
You all both love him, don't you?
Oh yeah, he was so
I want
fun.
to become a director when I get older, so I learned lots of stuff from him. He's very organized and everything.
What was it? How was he good in terms of helping you all?
I think he was wonderful because he made it so fun all the time, and also he's so creative. Sometimes in scenes he really keeps you on your toes, because on the spot he'll just change a whole scene all the way around and change all the dialogue and everything, but then it comes out so much better.
But isn't that hard for you to have to read?
Well, it's actually not that hard. No.
He tells us in so how we would understand.
Yeah.
And he just tells us what's going to happen now.
You all do spend an awful lot of time in the movie screaming. So,
oh yeah,
Ariana, give me your best scream. Right
Yeah.
here, right now.
Look out.
Well, it'd be really loud.
That's okay.
Okay.
That was really good. Go ahead, Joe. I want to give you a chance. Thank you both very, very much. Very convincing. And you guys were both terrific in the film.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for coming in. Nice to meet you. I can't say it was nice to hear you scream.
Oh yeah,
but
it was also it was really funny because we both had things happen on our birthdays, because my birthday was on the day of the hurricane.
That's right. Not to mention that you filmed this thing during a hurricane, which must have been really scary too.
Oh yeah, that was pretty scary. It was pretty good that we survived through it.
It's also fun because I made impressions of everybody on the cast and crew.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and we played cards, and Steven told us ghost stories while we were waiting.
Well, sounds like all in all, it was a terrific experience, if not a little bit scary. You all both deserve a merit badge.
Of the roof actually did blow off, so that was pretty
Yikes.
scary. They had to move everybody to the other side of the room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great movie, and I enjoyed talking and meeting you both. Thanks a lot for coming in. Ariana Richards Joe Mazzello. Correct, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, great to see you all.
I always love going back and listening to great interviews such as this one. I think it's really fun to hear their thoughts as kids, performers, and their aspirations for their careers. Now, you may have heard Joe mention wanting to become a director, and actually this year he is releasing his directorial debut, Undrafted. Now, I think it's awesome to see his dreams come to fruition like that. So if you want to see this video, check out our show notes and take a look.
Where's Aunt Claire?
7 o'clock tomorrow night on the East Dock. Make sure he gets it right.
But it's alive, and everyone on the planet's going to line up to appreciate it and everything done.
People would say they could see the fleas. Oh, I could see the fleas. Mommy, can't you see the fleas? Are these characters autoerotic?
No.
Come on!
We are doing another giveaway segment here on the Jurassic Park Podcast to celebrate the year mark of the podcast. Now, I have 2 DVDs to give away, Jurassic World on standard DVD and The Good Dinosaur on Blu-ray. Now, I will be picking 2 winners and giving them the DVD of their choice. The rules are as follows. If you want to win, you need to go over to our iTunes and give us a 5-star review, leave a comment with the hashtag Jurassic Giveaway, and the movie you'd like to win. So this contest is a win-win for both of us. As long as you give us that 5-star review, we'll be able to reach a bigger audience, bring in more people, and make the podcast better overall. It'll really, really help us. At the same time, you'll be able to win one of 2 amazing DVDs. So let me review this one more time. All you have to do is go to iTunes and give us a 5-star review along with the hashtag Jurassic Giveaway in either Jurassic World or The Good Dinosaur. Once the contest is over, we'll amass all the people who entered, put you in a pool, and we'll pick the entries to win. Now don't forget, The Good Dinosaur is a Blu-ray DVD, so obviously you'll need a Blu-ray player to enjoy it. You'll find a post on our website that includes all the details and the links to our iTunes. Thanks for listening to the 53rd episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. Of course, I need to thank them all again. Jen, Matt, James, Steve, and Dan have all been such a huge part of the show, and I'm glad to call them cohorts in this adventure. Don't forget to check out our website for all their Twitter handles, so go say hi. Also, a huge thanks to everybody that's been a part of this show. Chris Lanham, Victoria from Victoria's Cantina, Chris from Crisscross Media, Zach Carlisle, Michael Pierce, Sabrina and Garrett from I Know Dino, Jurassic Collectibles, Olivia Dolphin, Max Wood, Tim Lewinson, John Scott and Nate Vanderkamp from Raw Thrills, and Lord Christine. Also the countless amounts of listeners that have either called in, emailed, or interacted with us online. We really, really appreciate it. Please don't forget to go support BDH Network in the fight against Huntington's disease. Now, all you have to do is donate a few spare dollars, and BDH Network will give back to you with some free stickers. You'll also find a link to the fight in the show notes. Remember to head over to dinosaurstop.com to find more information about the amazing giveaway they have going on right now. There's so much to win and so little to actually do to win. Head over to their website to find more, dinosaurstop.com. Of course, don't forget to head over to our brand new website. Scour around and use it as a source for the future. We'd love for you to keep coming back. Also, don't forget about the giveaway that we have going on. Just review the podcast in iTunes and leave a comment with the hashtag Jurassic Giveaway, as well as which DVD that you want to win. Either Jurassic World Standard DVD or The Good Dinosaur on Blu-ray. The only way to win is to leave us that 5-star review, so go do it now. If you want to interact with us, we do most of our work over on Twitter, at Jurassic Park Pod. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/Jurassic Park Podcast. And our Instagram handle is at Jurassic Park Podcast. You can listen to us via iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podomatic, YouTube, or really wherever else podcasts are found. So make sure to subscribe to automatically get new episodes each and every week. Now, if you want to get a hold of us, you can email us with any news stories, MP3s, segment ideas, top 10s, or comments to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. If you'd like to record something for the show, send it in to us and we'll feature it in an upcoming episode. If you don't have any way to record, you can give our voicemail a call and leave us a message. That number is 732-825-7763. Thanks for listening and enjoy.
Drop what you're doing and leave now.
Awesome.
Cool.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Nice. Sorry I was so late. Oh.
I know. Liberty.
Sorry I was...
Sorry, we spoke about all the good stuff before you got on. It's fine.
Yeah, we probably had an hour's worth of conversation before you came on, so...
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was completely forgot. I woke up in a panic. But
yeah,
anyway.
I know it was kind of rough to ask you guys. Like Jen's at work right now, and it was early for you and Matt.
How are you not fired, Jen?
I'm hiding in the bathroom. I don't know. It's a Sunday.
There's one long
There's
number
no
2.
bosses around. I do have to run solution, but get there.
Somebody's outside the bathroom, like, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
There. Jen, you alright?
I know. I should put a note on the door. They did call me on the intercom, and I was like, "Well, I'll be there in a minute."
Oh, man.
So there's priorities. There are important priorities here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to press the mute button and go get Griffin. He was barking at my door.
Record this as an extra at the end of the podcast as a little surprise.
It's recording, yeah.
Oh yeah, add it on.
Did we talk about that? The aftercast thing?
We did.
The toilet habits of Jennifer Lynn.
I know, in the bathroom for an hour and 41 minutes.
I always like to save the end of the podcast for a way to make fun of Dan here, because every time it's actually more so to make fun of me, because you always do that, like the visitor center thing where you make fun of me every time.
We're off to the visitor
I love
center.
the pause before it. Yeah.
Oh god, sometimes I record that segment like 4 times, like just to get it right. This is going to be a tough one.
Every time.
I don't know how I'm going to do it on this one, because I have to say like 5 different names.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long.
You could just say we've got James and Steve from Jurassic Unicast. We've got Jennifer Lynn from the Braston Network.
Already 15 minutes long. Already 15 minutes long.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. That's the thing. Like when there's loads of us, the topics just go on, because obviously everyone wants to talk about. Don't they? It's good though. It's good stuff.
We hit like every topic that I had written out, and a few more. So that was fun.
Nice.
And it's good that we're all Jurassic World lovers as well.
Yeah. That's like a prerequisite a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
anyway,
thank you guys.
I'm going to shoot off.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, I have to make sure I'm not fired.
Yeah, definitely don't be fired.
Okay.
All right.
Go and do some work.
I know. It's been fun. Thank you.
See you later.
Me.
Nice talking to you guys.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.